Tate McRae has officially set the pop world ablaze once again, and this time it is with her brand new single, Tit for Tat, a track that drops right in the middle of her already electrifying Miss Possessive Arena Tour, a tour that has seen her dominate stages and prove over and over again that she is not just a rising star, but a solidified force in global pop. And fans are already connecting the dots between this new release and her much-publicized breakup with Kid Laroi, who recently came out swinging with his own track titled A Cold Play. And the lyrical back and forth is so sharp that listeners can almost feel the tension bubbling beneath the surface, because when McRae sings the words, "Let's go song for song, let's go back to back, let's go tit for tat, boy you asked for that," it feels less like just another lyric and more like a pointed declaration, a musical rebuttal, a strike back at someone who thought they could get the last word. And if you know anything about Tate McRae's trajectory, you know that she has never been the kind of artist to sit quietly while someone else writes her story. She writes her own narrative. She delivers her own punch. And this single is proof that her pen and her voice are sharper than ever. Now, let's take a step back and remember that earlier this year, McRae earned her first ever #1 album with So Close to What, a career-defining achievement that cemented her place in the global pop landscape. And what makes that success even more impressive is the fact that she began writing the songs that would eventually end up on So Close to What right after releasing her second album, Think Later, in December 2023, which means she barely took a breath before diving right back into her creative process. And in an interview with Rolling Stone, she explained that even though songwriting is technically her job, it feels more like her sanctuary, her safe space, the one stable part of her otherwise chaotic life on the road, because touring can be exhausting, overwhelming, and relentless. But writing gives her a way to process her emotions, to express her perspective, to anchor herself in the storm. And she admitted that amidst the whirlwind of traveling, performing, and living under the constant pressure of the spotlight, it was actually comforting to come home and write, to put her feelings into words, to create something meaningful out of the chaos. And that is exactly the kind of dedication that separates artists who are flashes in the pan from those who carve out a lasting legacy. Now let's look at the timing here, because the Miss Possessive Arena Tour kicked off in March and is set to continue through November, with upcoming stops in major cities like Seattle, New York City, Chicago, and beyond. And this tour has not just been about the music, it has been about proving a point. It has been about showing the world that Tate McRae is not a supporting act, not an opening name, not someone riding a trend, but an arena-filling powerhouse in her own right. And if there was any doubt, her recent performance at the MTV VMAs shattered it, because not only did she perform, she dominated, and she walked away with 2 major trophies, including Song of the Summer for her viral hit Just Keep Watching, a track that captured the attention of millions and became the anthem of the season. And that kind of recognition is not accidental. It is the result of hard work, of talent, of timing, of knowing exactly what your audience wants and then giving them even more than they expected. And Rolling Stone nailed it when they described what makes Tate McRae stand out, because they wrote that even when she sings about self-doubt, even when her lyrics explore vulnerability, heartbreak, and insecurity, she sounds fearless, invincible, like someone who has no interest in letting anyone see her sweat. And that is exactly why fans are so drawn to her. She embodies strength, even in her most fragile moments. She projects confidence, even when she admits to questioning herself. And when she steps on stage, there is not a single crack, not a single glimpse of fear, not a single ounce of hesitation. She is bulletproof. And no doubt that is exactly the way she likes it. Because Tate McRae is building not just a career, but an image, a legacy, a movement. And now with Tit for Tat, she has taken the narrative into her own hands once again, turning personal heartbreak into art, turning speculation into conversation, and turning whispers into headlines. Because the music industry is full of breakups, full of feuds, full of he said, she said drama, but only a few artists have the courage and the skill to translate that chaos into a track that not only resonates, but also defines a cultural moment. And McRae has done just that. And let's not forget the speed at which she's operating, because in just a few years, she has gone from viral sensation to chart-topping artist to arena headliner. And she has done it all while refining her sound, mastering her stage presence, and building a loyal fan base that is willing to follow her through every twist and turn. So when you hear Tit for Tat blasting through speakers, you are not just hearing a song, you are hearing a statement, a message to the world, and maybe even to one person in particular. A reminder that Tate McRae is not afraid to clap back, not afraid to turn heartbreak into power, not afraid to match energy and raise the stakes. And in this era of her career, it is clear that she is not slowing down. She is only getting started. So whether you are following her tour across North America, streaming her songs on repeat, or just watching from the sidelines as the headlines stack up, one thing is undeniable. Tate McRae is writing the next chapter of pop music in real time, and Tit for Tat is not just another single, it is a marker in her story, a bold flag planted in the ground, and it is proof that this is her moment, and she knows exactly what to do with it. So buckle up, because the ride is far from over, and if history has shown us anything, it is that Tate McRae will always find a way to come back stronger, louder, and more unshakable than before. And the only real question is, who, if anyone, will be able to keep up?